Again,
Tristana, okay.
Tristana. Now, I like the theory of the Tristana, even as a mid laner. Didn't really amount to much in that game, of course, partially because Humanoid just snowballed so quickly, so early.
I do think as well, this is kind of like a symptom of lane swaps, where it's like, they are threatening essentially the lane swap, where it goes, if you go for cool, we'll take Tristana, we'll take maybe even a Lulu, we'll run double demolish, and we'll just absolutely rinse through your towers and just speed up the game, so effectively the Tristana gets to take over. So I think this is why they're having that high priority, and then as you say, they can still flex it to mid, even if they don't want to play it in that bottom side of the map, and especially against the likes of the Rakan and Xayah, more than likely we'll see it go mid again. I just need to see some sort of AP priority here then for Kiaya in the top side, because I think that's the downside, is that you just don't have the AP fallback a lot of the time in that top lane, unless you want to go towards like a Mordekaiser, which we did see some buffs to, or Gwen, excuse me, or something along these lines.
Now, with the Zeri immediately locked in, it feels like we're shifting away from the lane swap. Still potential for it to come through, but not a very common pairing, and now the Veigar are going to come out. Okay.
This is probably just a
hover. Yeah,
plus.
excuse me, I'm getting excited by the...
Yeah, I think we'll probably see something like the Sejuani and the Maokai probably come through here. More than likely a Maokai, to be honest with the... Oh! It is going to be the Veigar. So Veigar support, going down to try and cover for the Rakan. That's super interesting.
It's really...
he's played it before as well.
Yeah. It's the second time we're going to see this. But the thing for me is I really want to see more proactive engage tools or stronger disengage tools. Now, it's not the Rumble, it is the Veigar, so there are some good disengage tools when you have these double AD carries. And I hope the rest of the comp continues to round that out. Because that was a big issue for me, is that they just had no way to stop Fnatic from one-shot killing anyone on their team for overstepping and starting a team fight at a massive advantage.
The downside to going for the Veigar, though, is that it doesn't give you a huge amount of push in that bottom side. It's more about controlling the Rakan, right? So I think when you look towards now not having the Rumble, Xayah Rakan should be able to get control of this bot lane level 1, level 2, and then open up for some sort of opportunity for Razork to invade and look for these plays. And I think that was where, when we look back at the start of winter, this play where Fnatic really shone was trying to go for these invades and playing around Razork. And if Humanoid is able to take something that is a decent answer into the Tristana as well, that could set up for these pushing lanes, or even honestly for Oscarinin with the counter pick that you can look to play off of as Fnatic.
Yeah. We'll see how the Veigar works out. Right, I don't love it. I would have rather seen something like a Taliyah in the mid lane. Of course, that option disappears when you lock in the Tristana and the Zeri, unless you're really going to flex a Tristana top lane, which I can't imagine anyone is going to do at this point in the tournament. The Karthus banned away.
It's the AP junglers, right?
Yeah, and like, look, if there's anyone on this team to be scared of, it's Levi. It's the jungle position.
He's a beast.
So we saw Nocturne in game 1 banned. Now we're going to see the Karthus in game 2. Maybe just hoping to limit any of the really, really strong scaling options the game can bring to the table in the AP department.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what do you do now? Because as we said, like, Kiaya has to try and go for the AP, because the other AD options that you're kind of thinking of in the jungle are like Evelyn, this kind of stuff. Taliyah could have even been flexed into the jungle, but now that being taken away for Humanoid means that that's off the table, so you're kind of stuck here. Like, maybe a little bit of us, but this is what I mean. You're fishing for jungle, so it kind of has to fall to Kiaya to have some sort of AP answer. But a blind AP top laner isn't the best of times. And look, you can kind of go, Zeri does some AP damage, Veigar does obviously AP damage, but you can see in the last game how difficult it was. But
Brand!
There it is.
You want magic damage? He will give it to you. It's been a while since we saw Brand, obviously hit back a bit since he was the premier jungle option for that brief period at the start of the year. And now alongside a relatively safe blind pick Ksante. But I do like the overall structure of this composition. Magic damage in the jungle, effectively double AD, and you know, Ksante obviously just a little bit here and there with the true damage. But yeah.
The only problem that I see is that trying to kill Razork is going to be a pain. You have a lot of people that want to play at range. Ksante is the only one that can really get in there. So if Razork starts to get ahead, which kind of has opportunities to playing off of the TF top, the ability to play off of Jun and knowing that bottom side, this is where it can cause issues for GAM. So you're going to need to see very good early game vision coming through from GAM to protect Levi in his jungle.
We'll track. That's the diligence we didn't see from them in the previous early game, laying down the vision, respecting when they did and didn't have priority around some of those early plays, from Levi especially. On the Brand, you always kind of have to be a bit more conservative because you lack summoners, even if you're pretty strong in a 1v1. But now it's Oscar's turn to try out the Twisted Fate, see if he can dominate here. Domestically, this was not one of his better champions, often falling flat against many of our top laners. But in a matchup up against the Ksante, see if he can start to take over. Had a pretty solid game 1 on the Ornn overall, really shutting down Kiaya on the Twisted Fate. So now gets more or less the opposite side of the matchup, at least Twisted Fate into a tank. Although Ksante a little more kill pressure, you know? I think it's safe to say. I do think Oscar will probably take Ghost in this matchup.
Yeah, especially since, I mean, Ksante doesn't take Ghost himself and getting run down like that is never fun.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I think definitely a big 1-3-1 setup here for Fnatic. They want to try and play through, especially if you can get control in the early stages by playing around the TF in the top half. But I think you got a lot of options. And again, it's GAM. I think if you can just come into this early game stronger, the fact that you saw so many hiccups from Fnatic will give you easier ways to get back into the game. And this isn't a composition that I feel as much as you will just immediately lose the game if you fall behind. So there is options here for GAM to try and push us to that game number 3.
Certainly are. It will be a tall task, however. No doubt about that. Elio, solid in game 1's laning phase. Really making sure they could keep some of that early, bot side prio, but was getting picked out in a number of instances. Need to see if he can clean up the play on the Veigar. And similarly for Levi, like, Brand, we said if they fall behind, it's not too big of a deal, but Brand is definitely a champion where you want to snowball. You want to get a lead. You come into those early fights on one item, whew, you're living your dream. You're burning everybody.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that if you're kind of coming in on equal footing or even slightly behind, it's not the end of the world. Because you end up looking at Fnatic, yes, they have a squad that can team fight, but they're all relatively squishy. It's Jun being reliant as the main engage dealer. And Brand does pretty well into compositions that want to stick as a group, which, when you look at the backline of Fnatic, relatively want to. Also, Jun being able to bring that Brand ult into the team is also going to be a big one. The controlling of space with Elio, like, you have options to fight against what Fnatic have brought to the table. It's just a case of not falling behind, which is why I love this.
We're swapping. All right, of course, it is spotted out by Fnatic, so their bot lane immediately steps up to try to get lane prio. Opportunity for Emo really to push in mid here and ensure that Humanoid cannot roam to support any of these plays. Just find advantage in his isolated 1v1. And we said it in the previous draft, Twisted Fate, one of the absolute worst champions in a lane swap. That said, I don't know what Veigar Zeri does. They don't push very fast. They don't do a ton of tower damage, as now Oscar, a quick gank into the mid lane. I take it back, he might not be good in the lane swap, but an early gold card. Gonna at least force Emo away. He's ticking down. One more auto, or an extra rock. Gonna finish the job.
That's huge, getting that kill in the mid lane, and now they're gonna start to move into this bottom side, potentially look for the dive. As you can see, Razork starting to clear out his final camp on the spot side and gonna move in here, but at least the push already coming through for the Veigar and the Zeri as they get access to that turret.
Oscar also with the setup here. Kiaya gets level 2, it's not going to feel too bad, but he has not taken a skill yet. We'll take the Pathmaker, but this is a 4-man dive. Should be an easy setup. Oscar goes in, takes it first with gold card to ensure unstoppable. Now coming out onto Kiaya. Plenty of damage here to finish the job. Fnatic clean on the 4v1 tower dive.
They end up crashing the third wave as Fnatic versus the second wave on GAM. So there's going to be the immediate crash, so you can't really follow up there as Oscarinin to go towards the top side. So I wouldn't be surprised if he hovers around here to see if you get the TP in from Kiaya, because he would love to be able to pick up this wave, but not going to be the case because Kiaya did place that ward.
Okay, he's going back. And now it's time for the redive. Knock up there, he's unstoppable. Again, he just needs to find one kill back. Jun now tanking the tower. One more shot, Jun, the heal has to come out. Kiaya still alive for an extra second, but Noah. It's a clean flash to stay standing. Kiaya, oh, that hurts.
That's heartbreaking. The one advantage that you really had for Kiaya into this Twist of Fate was the fact you had that teleport. You were going to be able to get in towards those waves, and I loved the ward he placed down in towards that brush to spot out if Oscarinin was going to stick around, if Fnatic were going to look for the redive, but he ends up pulling the trigger thinking maybe he can get some of the experience in the CS under the turret, but he ends up falling to us. There will be a sizable, I was going to say sizable, he'll be able to pick up some of the turret, or the minions on this bottom side.
He's going to get level 2.
Yeah. But
that's really about it.
Yeah, but now we're seeing Jun going to move up towards his top side to try and help out Oscarinin to make sure that he can hit the level 2 as well, grab this wave. And it's a bit of a fake because essentially what's going to happen is GAM is going to reset, look to move into this bottom side. Oh, it's not actually Oscarinin. Sorry, it's Noah's gone top, but Elio a little bit behind on the reset.
And honestly, disrupting that recall is big for tempo in favor of Fnatic. Remember, in 5 minutes, the topside tower plating falls away, and Emo getting a face full of rocks.
That's like opening your front door and immediately just getting wailed up with the rain outside. You're like, I regret life choices today.
Yeah. My man just got hailed on. That was not... Wow. All right. Humanoid again off to a fantastic start. Emo, I guess that felt like that was his only option. But he miscalculated. Elio stopping Noah from pushing here. But keep in mind, if Fnatic keep this pressure up, it's easy access to the grubs. They do spawn in 6 minutes now, though.
It's also the fact that Elio didn't get the reset, so he's behind. So he has to reset now, which is going to give Noah and Jun that opportunity now to push in this top side, and they will get the advantage in the 2v1. So Fnatic are winning out on mid, they're winning out on top, and yes, you are a little bit behind when it comes towards the experience on bot side, but it's really not a huge amount. So for Fnatic, if they can now, in this position, continue to match GAM in the 2v2, they're going to be in a great spot.
I also just think that the timing works out so well for Fnatic. They get a ton of time bot lane. When there's no tower reinforcement, they get 3 plates. They move back topside right as that tower reinforcement starts up or falls away. So if GAM swap down to the bottom side at this point, they're going to be at a massive disadvantage. Flick back from Humanoid is good. I mean, at this point, he's got an experience lead and he's about 1,000 gold ahead. So it's definitely not getting any easier for Emo.
Fnatic faking the reset here, trying to see if they can pick off GAM as they get deeper vision. Great Scryer's Bloom from Levi to spot this out, because they want to try and trade Dragon for the Void Grubs as GAM. Fnatic know it, they want to stick around, but can't really get into a position now, because look at where the Tristana is in mid lane. Emo shoving in this wave, but Mao might get caught.
Oh, he W'd in. He does not have the cooldown available yet. He flashed previously, and it's an easy pick off for Fnatic. Humanoid. It's just getting funneled kills. I mean, 3-0 at 6 minutes. This is a shellacking.
And now Fnatic do get to go towards the Void Grubs. And remember on this patch, Void Grubs spawn in 6 minutes, but also give you the little Void Mites if you can get 4 of them. So picking up 2 here is great for them. And even Oscarinin on the bottom side doing work now into this matchup against Kiaya. You'll get to collect the wave on top side, as GAM trying to deny Noah and Jun access to that.
Yeah, pretty ruthless replay on the picture-in-picture of that mid lane play. Looked like Emo jumping forward to just get autos down on Humanoid, potentially to stop the Weaver's Wall from rotating him into Herald, as Levi caught out a bit here. Again, the brand damage is tough to deal with. Set up for Veigar, extra movement speed. Emo once again going over the wall, then caught out Humanoid. Huge shutdown into EasyLove's back pocket.
Noah had moved back up towards the top side to collect that wave that we talked about EasyLove and Elio pushing in as Fnatic were on the Void Grub. So GAM were like, great, you can only have 3 people here. We've got 4. That's a bigger number. Let's just take the fight. And they managed to catch out Humanoid.
I could keep it simple for us, Rob.
Yeah.
Number bigger.
Bigger number, better person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, Demolish, of course, getting picked up by Veigar here in the lane swap situation makes a ton of sense. And Emo going to grab a plate, so Humanoid still wildly far ahead, but a very positive play for the side of GAM. Oscar gets the gold card off. Kiaya, once he gets to level 6, is going to be a bit more threatening. But Oscar building a lot of, or a pretty big gold lead here, despite spending all of his time not farming, at least for the first 3 minutes of the game.
And Noah, again, collecting this top side. I wasn't sure if they were going to try and get Noah to rotate down for the Dragon, because that would be something Fnatic would like to get, but I think because Oscarinin has this tower so low already, they're just happy to try and leave him in this matchup. But
card
6 hits.
Yeah, Q3. Ulti's immediately going to go for the all-in. Ghost first Ghost. Oscar needs to run this down. 1 Q missing. Oscar getting the gold card. Dash through from Kiaya. He's running out of cooldowns. Oscar needs to get a bit more space. Q3 not going to slow. Q2 rather. Q3 now coming in. But the rest of the team on the way. Oscar, does he just ult out to safety? Does he even know? Can they even do anything? The TP? Oh, he's caught in the cage. He's forced to flash.
He's forced to flash. He will get the reset, though. Can ult back in to collect this wave under tower. And look top. Because Elio and the EasyLove are all on this bottom side, that's going to be the push coming through on the top half of the map for Noah and Jun. And Oscarinin, he can TP back in and have Razork here to support him as he collects this wave. So Fnatic going to try and put GAM behind as much as possible here.
Oscar trying to get back onto this tower. Has Razork to cover for him. That is one squishy Veigar. Razork flashing over the wall to get the damage down. Full confidence, and now Levi's in trouble with a fireball. It's bouncing back and forth. EasyLove, he got a bit extra kill gold early on. If he can get the red buff, he might be able to turn this back onto Oscar. Gold card coming in. The cleanse isn't good. He was already knocked up. He desperately wants this kill, but the shock laser whiffs.
And
disaster!
And on the top side, Kiaya goes down as well. The dive successful from Fnatic. Fnatic pick up wins entirely across the board, but now Emo hovering for vision.
Should just grab the kill here. Kill back onto Oscar, try to make it an even trade outside of the kill that happened on the top side. Gold card, walks back, he doesn't know the brush is warded, flash forward. Bit messy, but the kill still comes through.
It's still Fnatic coming out on top though. They managed to get the win on the top half of the map. They get 3 turret plates themselves to push in as well. And yes, Emo got at least a little bit of it, but you can see at the bottom of your screens, 1.1k nearly entirely across that top side for each of the different players. But we'll see here, Razork immediately goes on to Elio, manages to get the knock-up, and I thought this might have been a bit of a mistake. Oscarinin tries to go-card the Veigar instead of go-carding Levi. Maybe, and you can see here, Razork, because he's in melee range of the brand, ends up taking a ton of damage. So maybe there was a way that you could have kept Razork alive, but either way, Fnatic going to be very, very happy with that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Humanoid, of course, able to easily roam up. They know Kiaya has no ultimate. So much of his ability to threaten to kill back on the dive just removed because of the bottom side play. And overall, if you're winning 2 plays or going even in 1 play and winning a play on the other side of the map, you feel fantastic. And let me tell you, Fnatic feel fantastic right now. 4-1 for Humanoid. Game 1, he got off to a swift start. He's getting off even faster this time around. Emo, knockback, gets 1 shot under the tower. Here comes the Veigar, point and click!
Outplayed!
Tiny master of evil, baby! Can't be stopped. All right, Oscarinin now trying to back away. See where the Seer goes. Ooh, waits on the Seer. Ulti just gonna bounce into the wave, however, not a lot left to grab.
That's like 3 waves though that now has been lost to Oscarinin on this top side though. He was initially denied access as Kiaya was taking the turret, so actually a bit of a sizable win now for Kiaya. He got about a 400 gold for himself in the matchup, and now opening up a bit of an experience lead for himself as well. Don't know if he'll be able to get the tower fully with the TP coming through.
Gold card, locks up, unstoppable from Kiaya, will start to walk away, gets on the other side of the wall, Veigar baby cage. Stopping anything else, but this is a questionable TP. Emo, he missed the memo. The play ended 3 seconds ago, but that TP could not cancel it.
That was a bit of a whoopsie there from Emo, going that little bit too far forward, and now it's Fnatic who have numbers advantage on this top side. Razork finds Levi.
Just fully go in, knowing there's no cage available. Flash over from Levi. Manages to make it over the wall, but he has to walk back into Fnatic if he wants to escape this one. No flash. That means 1 very dead brand, but Fnatic just want to keep going. Oscar zooming towards the Veigar, but will not walk in the gold card.
Yeah.
And this is Fnatic in a nutshell. Once the blood starts flowing, it never stops. Oscar, quick gold card. A few more rocks to come out, waiting for the wave. Jun can just flash W, but I don't think they're going to commit anything more than they need to. Humanoid grabbing another kill. It's a Taliyah montage as Noah wants to go for the 1v1 versus EasyLove. Whips the chains a little bit. EasyLove lightning crash a bit late, and Noah on a killing spree. Game 1 Fnatic were winning. Game 2 Fnatic are styling on GAM.
Yeah, the Kraken Slayer comes in clutch there again. The fact that you only have access to 1 kind of burst damage from the static shiv means that Noah's just able to get so much more value from multiple auto attacks coming out. Burst down, EasyLove, and resets now to pick up more on the way back out. GAM, they need to find some way to disrupt them, but unfortunately for them, you know, Oscarinin and Humanoid love playing this 1-3-1 style when these 2 are out, so they're relying on kind of on Fnatic on making a mistake as Jun spots Elio.
A bit of damage comes in from Emo. Nice cage to stop Jun from following up as Levi just tries to grab the Scuttle Crab, but we talked about small leads being playable for the side of GAM. This is not a small lead, this is a massive lead. Oscar not going to use the ultimate. Gets the information he needs from the Destiny, allows him to keep pushing, and he'll set up Razork to take the Drake. Does go over the wall without crossing the Scuttle Crab vision, so GAM can guess that this is happening, but do not know for sure. Yeah,
at least they'll trade a tower on the top side for it, which is nice for themselves. They have invested a lot of people onto the bottom side, though, so I think if Fnatic want to, they can still contest any sort of Rift Trail play on this top half of the map. And with Noah heavily contesting in mid. Oh, hang on. Humanoid
going up. Pull back, good from Kiaya. Knockback to get away from the Unraveled Earth. Now Humanoid is running away.
You still got Elio on the way, though. Fnatic second to the play here, so Humanoid invests the ultimate, thinks he can go for the 1v1 because Kiaya's far behind, but Xin picked up and at least has a no magic mantle for himself as well, so able to trade that one back around. But this just nice from Noah. Yeah, again, like, you got the Kraken Slayer, you're getting some good damage out of it, and for EasyLove, you just don't have enough to burst him down. You're great at clearing waves, you're great in team fights because that AoE is crucial, but in a straight up 1v1, it just ain't it.
Yeah, the late lightning crash doesn't feel good either. If you're going to use it, you got to use it immediately. Regardless, works out very well. Well played by Noah to go for the aggressive kill there. And while the plates are close, I think mostly because of the lane swap, to be honest, and because Fnatic have been playing for these kills and for these picks, while Emo has been pushing on a side lane, the gold's still very much in favor of Fnatic. Only 2 grubs to their name. GAM will get the extra little grubby, or the extra little might when they push. But don't think that is enough to balance out the discrepancy here.
I think at this stage it's going to be tough for GAM to try and get something back in their favor. They need to... Oh, hang on.
No.
I was going to say, they need to try and find some way to force a fight mid that they can win, but honestly, they don't really win out in the 3v3 because Razork can act as a tank, whereas you just don't have that option as GAM. So unless you can catch out, Noah as he steps too far forward with a baby cage, that could be an answer, but he has cleanse available, he has flash, he's the ults. I mean, you're kind of seeing it here. The Fnatic just aren't really scared of this Veigar right now. And if you're getting this much control in the enemy jungle, essentially for free, you're just going to immediately turn onto the bottom side.
No surprise to see all red on the MasterCard lane economy snapshot. It's Fnatic favored, to say the least, at this stage of the game. And I think GAM, they've got a little bit more burst damage in the jungle position for Brand this time around, but it is the Rylai's. Obviously disrupts, obviously makes a lot of these extended fights much easier to lock down some of those squishier targets, but they don't really have enough threat without a ton of members grouped up.
Yeah, you're kind of hoping that a big Brand ult could maybe set them up for something, but at this stage it's very, very tough. 2 members of Fnatic pushing them back, drawing 3 members of GAM down, means that you have the reset for Noah, who's going to move in towards mid. It's actually going to be Jun, who I think is going to freeze this wave for a colleague up in this top half of the map, but yeah, I think it's just a waiting game now for Fnatic. Keep lanes in your favor, make sure that then you're able to play for the likes of Baron when it comes up, Dragon maybe in 2 minutes time, but with only this mid tower remaining, it feels like pushing out both sides and then immediately collapsing onto the mid is the way Fnatic are going to try and play this one out.
Yes, sir. We are now in the... this is the moment as a caster you have to choose. Do we bring up the narrative? Do we spin a tale about something unrelated? Do we talk about how Veigar looks cute in pajamas? Instead, we'll talk about the flash. Okay, burn. Fnatic set up on mid. But this game... nigh impossible for GAM to play out. These cages will start to be much more threatening as we get later, and there's actually follow-up damage, but for now, Noah just throws down an emote, which I think reflects the exact situation of this game, and Humanoid sidestepping every relevant skill as Jun comes in from over the wall, but this cage, the flash out, Kiaya off to the side, shut down onto Humanoid, should just come through, but now Kiaya wants to keep the fight going instantly onto Noah there. Feathers are going to fly, now backing away, Emo overstaying, Razork turns right back onto the squishy Veigar. Oscarinin looks to get one more for himself. GAM, they thought they could turn the play back against Fnatic, but Fnatic, too good, too clean in the execution, too far ahead. And it's still going. Kiaya, all out's going to fade away, and nothing left for Ksante to do, but dive very slowly to the Bird Lady.
There is very little that you could do there. GAM was a nice attempt. Try to jump onto Fnatic, but again, as you said, just the gold lead is too much. Even Noah just having that flash available and the ult available, this is why it's so difficult to lock down Xayah, but at the start it looks fine. Pick off, get some damage onto Levi, you can then set up the vision that you want to on this bottom side, but as they commit forward, the cage from Elio actually does a good job of keeping Jun in place, Humanoid in place, and the ult from the Brand. This is what we're talking about, like hitting multiple people that want to play at the same range. And then Kiaya goes over the wall and nearly able to get enough follow-up, but Noah has the flash to get away. Emo, unfortunately, just hits nothing as he goes in, and then GAM are just running for the hills, trying to get out of the situation they put themselves in.
Really tough. Gold card comes out, EasyLove dashing over the wall. Fnatic just keep this relentless siege focus on the mid lane. The damage from Humanoid, disgusting. Cloud Drake up and available if Fnatic want to go for it. You see immediate TP topside. Coming in from GAM, coming in from Emo. He knows his job. He's just going to split push on side. There is no thing they can do to contest this Drake.
I mean, rapid fire and the cleanse being down on for EasyLove means that Oscarinin would find a very easy job to select this Zeri and make her life very unfortunate in the upcoming fights. Instead, they try to look for the topside play, but Humanoid aren't in position. And Fnatic are responding the opposite end of the map. They've shoved it mid, and they're just going to look for the tier 2 instead with the Rip Shard.
Should just be able to crash this one.
Oh no, Emo.
They aren't going to mount up. Emo now running. He's going to die. And sadly, this has been a rough game. You know, game 1 for Emo, not too bad. Humanoid kind of got ahead because of other lanes, but in the 1v1, Emo fell behind this game very quickly. Taliyah obviously with a lot better tools early on to fight than the Hui has. And now it's 7-3 for Humanoid. 7K gold lead for Fnatic. I know you're all capable of reading at home, but it's important to remember the Fnatic are
so you're only going to give me crap when I read out numbers and tell you which number's bigger. But when you do it, it's fine. Is that how this goes?
Yeah,
all right, thanks, man.
Rules
Appreciate
for
it.
thee, but not for me. Rob?
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I don't think you could do anything here.
No.
Like, you're really waiting for Fnatic to just do the Fnatic thing, which they have been known to do domestically, where they just fight for no reason. But they're so far ahead, I think they don't need a reason to fight anymore past we want to.
Yeah, and it'll work for them. You know, that is the reason.
That's the problem.
Because it will work out for you in the long run. And they're going to find their way to the top side. It's just like, yeah, this is a bit of a doomed one for GAM. And look, it looked decent when it got to the mid-game point from GAM in the last game. But you can kind of see the Fnatic, they're like, look, we tossed away a few of these leads. We're just instead going to look to play our game, make sure we're not getting caught. And now EasyLove might actually be the one that's caught. But top Fnatic were coming across, but actually they're just going to look for the reset instead.
All shock laser, Razork and Humanoid zooming their way through the river. The tower will drop for GAM. Nice bit of gold back, objective bounties. Still though, about an 8K difference between the teams. Yeah, GAM made the whoopsie that many teams have made. They let Fnatic into their zone. Absolutely cannot do that, Rob. Their zone being getting massively ahead and being allowed to take fights wherever they want to.
Sorry, I just had don't let me into my zone in my head.
Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah,
I don't know how obviously I could reference that. But
yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, we're good. I mean, after Yamato Cannon has told me how much he enjoys hip hop and rap, I feel like I've gone down a rabbit hole now thanks to him about all the hip hop diss tracks.
How many references? Oh yeah. Hey Rob.
So I'm deep in it.
Do you want hate messages on social media? Would you like to tell me if you prefer Drake or Kendrick? Tweet now with hashtag MSI 2025. I'm kidding. I'm not trying to start that. Where am I? Kendrick. Anyway.
I think it's more not who started it, but who ended it.
Who ended it?
Yeah.
Better question. Kind of like who's winning. Maybe in that beef it doesn't feel as clear to some people. In this beef, the Fnatic GAM beef, Fnatic are winning. Oscar gonna step forward with the gold card. Zoning tool down for the Veigar. The cage gone. Nice damage from the Brand though. This is the potential threat, but the feathers are flying. All of GAM are flashing out. Fnatic are walking away empty-handed thus far. EasyLove with an ultra shock laser. Aldi comes in from the Zen to stop any potential follow-up kills. They're trying to take down Noah. Clean CC combo to finish off the 80 carry. Fnatic again. We saw it last game. We're seeing it here, potentially a misstep. Oscar ghosting forward, has the gold card on the Emo. Input buffer takes him out to safety. Kiaya off to the side. Nice baby cage to lock up Jun, but Kiaya now going to be the one in trouble. Pull back takes Jun all the way through. Jun goes down. Kiaya still standing. Goes back into Oscar in the side flip, but Oscar comes out on top. Meanwhile, oh, it's just the Veigar left and Hilly, or Humanoid, excuse me. He's just too good at throwing rocks.
GAM thought they found the bridge over, but biddy bye-bye. It's Fnatic who are closing it up here. Immediately move over towards the Baron. Able to get themselves out. It was so close for GAM. That looked like their moment. But again, it kind of comes back to Razork. This ultimate makes it so difficult to kill him as Oscar. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Wow, has he ever played a raid? The answer is maybe, but he's running away from the Baron.
Wait.
Oscar. All right.
Easy. Not even close.
Fnatic fans, take a breath. You will not be relentlessly memed for dying to Baron.
Well, look, you can see it here. This is a really nice set. Well, Fnatic, let's be real, overextend. You got Tower here, but with EasyLove's ult clearing at the wave, they immediately feel the need to go forward. But Razork's tanking this whole time, and even though this looks like a great setup here, Razork isn't taking any damage from EasyLove while he's stunned up the whole time. Noah does end up going down, but you still have another threat from Humanoid on the opposite side, and Razork is so far ahead at this stage, has around his omen, so he's pretty tanky too. And he's just healing up as he starts to go through this fight. They focus down Kiaya, and then Emo, just unfortunately because he's so far behind, just doesn't have what he needs to beat down Humanoid and Razork as they win on the opposite side. You just see in the picture-in-picture, Dragon goes down, and so does Emo once more.
And I mean, the Humanoid and Razork duo across this entire series, everyone on Fnatic has had highlight moments, but those two playing incredibly well. Another pick for Elio. Levi Good damage onto Humanoid. With the shield. Oh. The burn from the brand. The burn. Oh. Leandres. Well, this is just a little goofy, isn't it? Fnatic's gold lead has only gotten bigger, though. As hype as this has all been, the replays, their fights, there's some kills getting traded back and forth. Fnatic are now 10k ahead with 3 Drakes. It's Hex Tech.
But this is what I've always loved about the VCS, is that they never go down without a fight. They will keep swinging every single step of the way. And look, they're finding some things back, but unfortunately Fnatic, they're about to crack up the base. Maybe EasyLove Skull as well.
Dash forward, wind becomes lightning. Grim reference from Dagda. As the skull is indeed cracked. All of GAM retreating. Shutdown. Over to Emo. This man is getting so much money from shutdowns on Fnatic players. Maybe it'll be enough in the fights. Kiaya, I think the standout in this game has had some really solid moments on the Ksante. Pullback is there onto Noah. Feather's immediately going to fly, but now it's Kiaya, who's gone a little bit too far. You do not win that 1v1 versus Razork, and now Humanoid TPing back in means that's going to be the end of the play. Noah will grab the kill in the end.
I just don't think you have the items that you really need to right now as GAM to follow this one through. You're still waiting on the 3rd item for Emo. When he's gotten a good bit of money, it's just not enough. And Fnatic now looking for this bot side. Humanoid catching Levi potentially.
Backstep. Razork, does he want to go into the tower? Humanoid.
Oh, he's dead.
Again is going to die. That's a caster curse. We praised him. He died twice consecutively. Or Humanoid's a little bit greedy.
And the other half of the jungle.
Razork. Is he going to get taken out as well? GAM live. That's the 3rd shutdown. I don't think Emo's gotten a single kill that hasn't just been worth so much more money.
He's at 3 items now, and he's just going to be able to go back and pick up another one. So, look, is it enough? I don't think so, but yeah, I mean, you see here, Emo getting caught out in the sideline.
Oh, the timing just slightly off.
And Humanoid absolutely rinses him, but the follow-up is there with Levi. And then Oscarinin, you can see this is the problem, that while we're all focused on the top side, GAM still getting work done. Fnatic still getting work done elsewhere on the map. They get at least something back with Levi here. But it's still a bit, it's a silver lining on a very dark day.
Most certainly is. All right, back to live. Let's take stock. It was a 10k gold lead. Now, somehow, despite so many shutdowns going over to GAM, it is 11th. How do Fnatic continue to grow their lead despite giving away gold in increments of 1,000 to the enemy team?
Towers and waves, Drakos, towers and waves.
Thank you, Rob. All right. Again,
do you want numbers again? Do you want me to go
every time we say Fnatic are favored, they do something like this. All right, Razork takes 0 damage. No one steps inside.
Then he takes damage.
The stoppy circle. Jun with the follow-up. Noah off to the side. He can't walk into 280 carries, though. Razork starting to burn. That's the Blaze passive coming in. Good damage going over the wall, but EasyLove gets flicked back. Lightning Crash doesn't hit on anybody, and now Noah can just start to tear through the fight. Feathers flown, but the pullback is there. Noah's going to go down as well. Shutdown is big. Kiaya, the last man standing. One Ksante versus the world. Balance team have been generous to this champion, but it's not enough. Even here, Fnatic finally found their fight.
The gold lead is just too much. Fnatic, they will close out the series in 2-0 fashion. Fair play to GAM in trying to make it a tough fought fight for Fnatic, but there was just nothing they can do under this far behind.
The kills tell the story of the game. Fnatic just getting more at each and every turn. Love the GAM are willing to fight for it, but ultimately it's Fnatic moving on to the upper bracket match against the victor of today's 2nd series. We'll see who it is coming up. But Fnatic, a solid first showing on the international stage. EU fans happy to see the win, but it would appear that their brief time scrimming in Chengdu did not solve all of their problems. That said, still a solid start to the tournament. Pretty good moments across the board for the Fnatic lineup, and of course, hearts out to GAM on the opposite side. We'll see what they can do to rally, to come together for their series later this week.
Of course, Fnatic will now go up against the winner of Top Esports versus Loud later. I'm curious how their performance will be, because this felt very laissez-faire. It was like, hey, we got a very early lead. We're not too worried about if we're going to overextend here, have a bit of fun with it because the gold lead was so big. But I think the fact you can see them get roams and get these early leads is more the focal point for me.
It was a bit of a loosey-goosey series. I'd agree with that. It will be interesting to see in the days to come what we have actually learned from that series. I don't think a whole heck of a lot. Fnatic just feels like they played what they were comfortable with. They were clearly ready for the lane swaps as they were in the LEC finals, and You know, individually, I think outmatched a lot of their respective opponents on the side of GAM. So I think for international analysts, for Fnatic fans, you can be happy with the win, but maybe not a whole lot to be learned there. For GAM, obviously an opportunity to grow,